So welcome back, everyone. Now we'll be looking at ternary operator. We have done it before, but it's just a recap, as I've said earlier. Now this ternary operator now hmm, is just a short form in writing your if-else statement. As usual, you will need to define a variable, or you will need to declare a variable, assign a value to it. There is that variable now is what you now use to check against for your condition. Now, as usual, the curly bracket will always have your what? Your condition, which is what we have here. The curly bracket will usually have your condition. Then after your curly bracket, you see a question mark. That question mark is the ternary operator. It is called what? It is called ternary operator. So let me quickly um write it here for you. Ternary operator always come like this and like this. Right. Oh, ternary operator always come in these two form. Yeah. You will first see the question mark, then you will now see the double column. Do you understand? So the question mark, after the question mark, that's where you see the true part of it. Why? The other part is now the what? Is now the false. So for instance now, we have they are trying to check for this, like we are trying to do this one again. We're trying to do it again. You know that at first I told you that the first one in the curly bracket is what actually tell you if the condition is true or false. Now if the condition is true, it will display what? It will display this first output. But if the condition is false, that's why to not display what? To not display this. Same thing is this ternary operator. The ternary operator, if the condition is true, it will do what? To display adult. But if the condition is false, it will display minor. I hope you are getting it. Then we have talked about variable before now. So this result that you get here now, any result that you get here, you now assign it to a variable called status. You assign it to a variable called status. Then from there, you now do what? You now output the result on the browser using console.log. How you are getting it. Now, there's what we call switch. Switch statement is switch statement is also a conditional statement when it comes to JavaScript. Not only JavaScript, there are other programming language too that make use of switch statement. Example PHP, C Sharp, C++, Python, etc. Now, what is a switch statement? A switch statement is used when you want to run different code based on one value. Do you get that? A switch statement means that, or it is used when you are doing a conditional um, programming, and that conditional programming involves you to run different code based on, excuse me, based on one condition, based on one value. I mean to say one value. Now think of it this way: if you have a value, if the value is this, do that. Okay. Now what I'm trying to tell you here is that, let me go back to my phone example that I made earlier on. So the example is this: if my if my phone is techno, then it should do what? It should display my profile picture. If my phone is techno, it should display my profile picture. So see, it's still the same thing as this one too. If the value is this, if the value is techno, then display what? my profile picture. It is often clearer than writing lot of if-else statement. So it's another shortcut in writing if-else statement. Now I have tell you two shortcuts in writing what if-else statement. So the first one is what ternary operator, while the second is what is switch statement. All right. Now back to our notes. So the basic syntax of um switch statement is this. The basic syntax of switch statement is this. Switch statements. All right. So the basic um syntax is this. Switch. Can you say it? Switch a case, then break, default, break. So this case and break now, they can come in repetition. It can come in what? They are comes in repetition. Then in place of that key that you are seeing here is what? Is value. That's where you put your value. Remember our definition. A switch statement is used when you want to run different code based on what? Based on one value. So that value now is what will be here. Value. Then condition now, or option one. Option one. Then break. After option one, the code to run if that value that I already put here is equal to option what? Is equal to option one. Option one. Now you are trying to use what is here, this value now, to check with what is here. You are trying to compare the two together. You understand? So if the value that is in this place now is equal to what is here, eh? The code that will run is this code that will run, because there will always be code inside, in between the case and the break. There is always a code to run. Do you understand? So if if these two values, they are what, they are the same, you run this code. And after running the code, you do what? You will break it, which is you will stop it. That you already have what you are looking for. I want to stop this programming to I want to stop this program to what? To I want to stop it so that it will not keep running anymore. You understand? So that's it. Then remember I said this case and break now, they can come in multiple forms. Multiple what? Multiple forms. So we have case one, under case two, other break now you see break, you see case two, which is option two. Then after that one, you also see another case two, case what? Case three. Do you get? Case three. Now if this value now that I see here is not equal to this option one value, it will do what? It will move to this second block. It will move to this second block and check if the value in this place now is equal to what is here. It will stop the program to it will stop the program. Then it will display the code that is inside this place here between option two and break. Same thing as the same thing as option three too. Same thing as option three. If the value is the same, if the value is the same, you do what? You check. If the value is the same, you stop the code here, then break the code, etc. So let's move to now the important keyword you have to take note when it comes to switch statement. Number one, switch. Say switch. Say it. Switch. Then this switch, what it actually do is it checks the value. It check what? The value, which is this value here. Check. Here's my console. Check the value. Two, case. Each possible value. Now you already check the value. Then each possible value that tally with what is already in that place. Case means any any or each possible value that can relate or that is tally with this. That's what case work with. Then break. Stop the switch. Very important. This is what? This is very, very important. So after you have done what? After you have written your code and you say that your code have run successfully, the next thing is to do what? The next thing is to break the program from keep running. Break it from what? Keep running so that it will not affect any of your code. Do you understand? So then we have default. Default runs if nothing matches. If nothing matches. So now what I'm trying to tell you here is that if option one does not match the value that's inside this place now, eh, it will move to what? It will move to option two and check for it. To move to option three, if it moves to option two and it doesn't work, then it will move to option three, check for it. That's how it will go until none of them tally with what is in that value. Then it will not do what? It will not display its own default value or default response. This was default what I said. Default now is not destroy, like it will bring forth what is actually going on. Or let me sleep without my eye. Or as the definition entails or contains. Default runs if nothing matches. It runs if none of the condition matches the value. Do you understand? Now we want to do example. Yeah.